I am not hearing us, yeah. I like how I'm on the milk carton. My face is on the milk carton. It's so funny.
What?
Okay, I can hear us now. We suck. At least we're all here.
I'm listening.
Yes, get Colin off. Oh, you mean fix the
Wait,
thing.
What's wrong with me?
I said we're all here, and then he said I could fix this.
I can get rid of us.
I'll fix this. Pew. Just Monica. Just Adam. Nah, it's kind of funny with me though too. Oh, there it is. Nice. Boom. Oh, just take me off. So good. Hi. Wow.
Damn. All on time.
64. My favorite bit number. Really? Try again.
I think it's fine.
Oh yeah, you're not coming through. I think it's fine. I love the Zelda in the background.
There we go. Okay, so now everything should be fixed.
Yeah, except we can hear you. Just kidding.
Yeah. It wouldn't be a This Is Difficult podcast without something very difficult happening right at the beginning of it. So,
the name wouldn't be true.
We've got audio. We've got hosts.
We've got all of us. It's crazy.
We've got everyone here. We started kind of on time.
I mean, it's whatever time we say.
That's true. It is. Yeah. Sweet.
What's up, everybody?
Nicholas looks unimpressed.
That's his
my
kid, right?
little guy. Yeah, he's the little guy.
Named after you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nicholas.
Same name.
Nicholas.
It's my middle name.
Oh.
Jackass.
Yeah.
You're like, same name. Yes.
That's hilarious. All right. Let's talk about video games, guys. You playing video?
We love those.
Actually, tell me about how you guys have been. I haven't talked to you. We didn't have a podcast last week. So,
I've been kind of MIA for a little. My job has been kind of constraining my schedule. We just hired some new people to kind of free up some of our employees now. But yeah, I've been I don't know, kind of taking a small break from streaming right now, but I'll probably be back this week, I would say, with more Banjo-Kazooie co-op.
Dude, we've been
best.
playing Banjo-Kazooie co-op, and it is glorious.
We already beat it twice in a week. We can come back. We can do a little. We can come back to that and do a.
I actually was able to catch the one of you guys' streams, and I watched basically the whole thing. It was.
We
a lot
plan
of fun.
on mashing our videos together at some point when we get a really good time.
Oh,
we can wait till we get a better time. Honestly, if we
that
want,
would be awesome.
To put
Hey, Bing.
both halves of the video side by side, and that'd be sick. I think, especially if it's like a 3 hour. We got 3.5 hours on our playthrough, and usually takes us like 6 to 8 hours to beat the game. So it's disgusting.
That is super cool. Did they work out all the bugs, or do you guys still have to work around all that crap?
There's
so funny.
Two major bugs. The one is when you get the boots or the shoes, you have to restart in order to make them appear in the level.
Yeah.
So literally, there's like one big reset we just have to plan on for the next playthrough. And then sometimes notes will like just not exist.
Yeah.
Like, not be there.
That's wild. Do they have plans to try and address those bugs, or is that even something they can do?
Been brought to their attention, and they're just like, this is kind of why. They know why it's happening, but they're not like really sure
if that's something they can fix.
Really fix it. Yeah, but honestly, if that's
because it obviously wasn't designed to be that way. Yeah.
If that's the worst thing that comes from that, then fucking bring it. Like seriously, we just got to plan on one reset in the middle of the playthrough, and we're pretty much able to still 100% the game for the most part.
That's dope.
Yeah, we can get more into that later in this.
Wait a minute, did
podcast.
you set your?
Oh god,
your frame rate was probably weird, wasn't it?
Mine?
Yeah.
It was still at 30.
Oh, I wanted 60.
Oh, we should do 60 for next time.
Yeah.
Oh, in
It
the
looks
game.
really good. It looks really good. Literally, me and Colin just sitting on the start screen, just waiting. We're like, "Damn, this looks so good." And everyone else, Paul is like, "Yeah, you're crazy." Thinks that Banjo Kazooie looks like crap.
No. I said it looks
Yeah?
great. I said that
Really?
they upscaled the resolution. The one thing that they didn't upscale, which I don't think they can, is like when a character pops on screen talking. And I think that's because that's like a pre-rendered object, you know?
Yeah.
So, but like all the in-game stuff looks gorgeous
So
because
good.
like it's like crystal clear.
I think it looks better than the Xbox remaster, personally. I think
Yeah.
they tried too hard with that version.
I don't know. I think it looks great, but okay.
No, I think it is. Some things just look too poppy. Just like I don't like how the text box looks, and I don't like how the notes look too like colorized. And Banjo looks a little too clean. Like I don't know. For me, that's like saying that Ocarina of
fair.
Time Link
Yeah.
should be smoother, and I'm like, I like triangle face Link. You know, so that's just me. It just looks right to me. You know, the way it is.
Right.
So
Anyway,
is that all you guys have been
Pinky-
playing?
Oh. I have a second life now.
Oh yeah.
I'm playing quite a bit of Animal Crossing.
Oh Lord.
I will say, whatever you guys say, and I said it too before I played it. I said it was gonna be. Are you literally parsecing me right now?
I'm fixing something. I'm fixing something.
Do it. As whatever we say, like it is a chill game. Like I could sit there and watch 2 hours of TV, or I could literally just play an hour or two of Animal Crossing and get that same relaxing effect. Like that's really for me why I enjoy it so much, because it really doesn't take any effort. It takes as little effort as it does watching TV. And
Right.
It is very fun. And I've been playing with my good buddy. He's like, come over to my town. Like, I'll come over. And we just like hang out, just give each other furniture and shit.
Yeah.
It sounds really stupid. And like, even like, I acknowledge how much of a time wasting game it is.
Right.
But it is alluring. It has an addictive quality to it, and I cannot explain it.
Yeah, you should add Adam. Add Comics and Coffee.
Oh, definitely. Adam.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely.
He's like, I gotta go, actually.
CNR. Wait, what's happening? OBS, what's it telling me?
He has an addiction. I don't know who he is anymore.
Yeah.
That is crazy. I was worried this would happen to you.
Binky.
Are we gonna have to
what's
put
up?
him in like freaking rehab for Animal
Yeah.
Crossing?
But then I actually got to play. I've been light streaming lately until we get back full into it this coming week. But I've been playing a lot of the old school Mario sports games, and as you guys may
Yeah.
have seen it, like
I've seen some of
Mario
that.
Golf and Mario Power Tennis, like fucking amazing. Like Mario Power Tennis especially is so good. It holds so much weight still to this day. It may actually be the best Mario sports game just because of how clean and like the controls feel like if they dropped it on the Switch and just updated the graphics. Like and
Didn't they
change
come out with
anything.
a Mario Tennis on the Switch?
They did, but
Isn't it good?
I played them back to back. On the same night I played Power Tennis, and they changed the mechanics kinda. Instead of doing like one power shot every now and then, you like charge up and do like slow motion time, and then you get like one ultimate super scope shot.
Yeah.
You like basically in a scope and you shoot it. And to me, I'm like, okay, I get it, but it feels like they added too much technical aspect to the game to the point where like I just think Power Tennis was pure and perfect. It's kind of like they Banjo Tooied it a little,
Gotcha.
where they added too much, although it is very good. But I think
Gotcha.
Power Tennis is still the superior Mario Tennis game.
Gotcha. Josh, did you move your camera?
Maybe. Oh yeah, what happened there?
Yeah, like the top of your head's getting chopped off.
Top of your head looks gone.
Yeah, exactly. Sweet. Yeah,
But
I've
yeah,
been
no,
playing.
totally,
So I played through with Chamali on stream actually the other day. We played through Streets of Rage 4, which is freaking awesome. I was a little bit skeptical because like you see stuff like Contra, the new Contra that came out. Yeah, there's a new Contra that came out like last year, and it sucks balls. Like it's
kinda makes
awful.
sense,
It's
yeah.
so awful.
Probably
And
why I
so
didn't hear
like
about it.
when you see like resurrections of old franchises like that, that's always like kind of what your fear is. And that's kind of how I felt about Streets of Rage.
Oh yeah.
Cause like Streets of Rage, those games are classic. They're freaking
Legendary.
awesome. And
Yeah.
like the new graphics, when I saw the art design initially, I was pretty skeptical about it because it looked like they were trying to like modernize it too much and make it too like, to me it looked like a Flash game, honestly. It looked bad.
Yeah.
But it is fucking awesome. It is
Yeah?
so good. It is so freaking good. And actually, I take back everything I said about the art style. Everything's hand-drawn and gorgeous, and the
Wow.
animation's really good. Another cool thing that they did was they made like all the 16-bit sprites, not all of them, but most of the 16-bit sprites unlockable as playable characters in the game, which is really fun. It's really
Damn.
cool. The game it's pretty short. You can knock it out in just a couple hours. I knocked it out in one stream, but the thing is it's
Oh,
super
wow.
replayable because you can keep playing to unlock new
Yeah.
characters and stuff.
That sounds incredible.
Oh, dude, it's so much fun. If you're
Yeah.
into those old school brawlers, like this is
Yeah.
like pinnacle. Like it's
Yeah.
so freaking good.
For anyone that doesn't know the game we're talking about, this was like the pizzeria game, like arcade game. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Sure, yeah.
There's like the Simpsons one. There was this game. and
Area
there was,
51.
Like, yeah, Galaga and all that shit.
Yeah.
And like, so Streets of Rage is like the beat 'em up, I guess. Beat 'em up?
Yeah, it's like a beat 'em up or like a
Side scroll.
brawler. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's really legendary. I'm glad this new one
Yeah.
is good.
I think that it's probably they were like the best brawlers you could get if you owned a Sega Genesis.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like
Adam's saying this one is supposed to be the best one in the series. Holy
it
shit.
is. It really is. It's so freaking good. It's
That's
so
shooting a big horn.
good. God, it's good.
I gotta play that.
I highly recommend everyone check it out. I'm gonna buy it again on the Switch so that I can play it just whenever. I got it for PC, but I'm gonna get it again on the Switch so that I can just pick it up
Sounds
whenever I
amazing.
want.
No quarters.
It's super fun, and yeah, there's different modes you can play in, like an arcade mode, which is like a permadeath kind of thing.
Sudden death, yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I spent a lot of money on that
so
game
yeah.
back in the day.
It is pretty dope. And then the
Yeah.
other game that I've been playing is the remake of Trials of Mana.
Oh yeah, I still haven't played the demo on that.
Ooh,
What are we talking?
dude, it is so good. It is so good. It's so much fun. I feel like they kind of streamlined it a little. Some people, if you are more of a fan of like the open world feel of the Mana games, which they're not like really open world, but they
Yeah.
kind of have that feel, you
Like
might
Final Fantasy VII original.
yeah, you might not necessarily like what they've done with this game because it feels much more linear, but I think it makes the story progress a lot.
I kind of like the sound of
Smoother,
that because
yeah.
for me, I spent a lot of time like not knowing what to do when I was still getting used to the
Yeah.
first one.
Yeah,
was
you
like, I
always
don't
know what to do, and there's a
know.
marker so you know
Yeah.
where to go. So like it's not like you're searching around like talking to everyone in the fucking town trying to figure out what you're doing.
That's literally what
you
I
know.
did. My first playthrough, I was like, who the fuck where do I go?
Right.
So just to be clear, that's only on the Switch though.
No, it's not. I thought it was. It is on everything. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
Oh, checking Steam.
I don't know if it's on Steam.
So it's not on anything we like.
I think it's on all consoles. It might be on Steam. It might be on Steam.
It's on Trashbox and
Yeah.
PS4
Yeah.
and the beautiful Switch.
Yeah. It's so good. I'm playing it on the Switch because again, that's a game that I'd like to carry along with me. You know.
Oh, yeah.
I think it was so the remake. I think is on everything. I think the Secret of Mana trilogy or whatever that they came out with before, like a year ago. The collection. I think that might have only been for
Boom,
Switch.
here it
I
is,
could be
50
wrong about
bucks.
that too.
Trials of Mana. So I'm confused with the differences. This isn't the 3-pack then?
No, Trials of Mana is
Oh, it's just, I
just a
gotcha, yeah.
remake of the third game. Yeah. It's just
wow, it looks so good.
It's so much fun. It's so good. The voice acting's really good. Like the graphics, they're not like blow your ass away graphics, but
They kinda
like
are for me.
they're very stylized and beautiful. Like it's a
Yeah.
beautiful game.
Looks exactly like Tales of Symphonia, which to me is like beautiful anime style cell shading.
Yeah.
It's really good.
It's great. I love it.
Oh,
I
yeah, I'm getting
absolutely
this.
am loving it. I'm gonna finish.
Wow, it's like a full-on JRPG now, like
Yeah.
100%. Oh wow, this looks good.
It's so good. It's so good. Yeah.
Has
So
anyone else played? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I was just
Has,
gonna
has
continue
anyone
to
else
ramble.
played Final Fantasy new one aside from Chamali yet? Or
Final Fantasy VII remake?
my buddy got it
I have
and
not.
Animal Crossing in the same day, and he put 5 hours into that and put 100 hours in Animal Crossing. I was like,
Jesus
oh, wow.
Christ.
Like I just can't stop playing Animal Crossing. So
What's so good about? I don't get it.
no,
We're like
honestly,
turnips,
the
turnips.
formula is perfect. I think this is what it is. So like, I'll just give you an example. Like you jump into your town. The town is all yours. You have put all of your effort into it. So like whatever it looks like and whatever things are there, or whatever people are there, is all you. Like all the effort is like you're yielding it. So it's kind of like a very personal thing. Okay, and then you got your routine. Like you pick your bullshit, you do your thing. Oh, I realized I got to do this. Oh, I need that for that. I got to do this, and it's just a very like boom, 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 back and forth, never stops kind of game. And you're fully aware that it's never gonna end, and yet you're just like, I just don't care. I just want that fucking crown, or I want that piece of clothing or furniture that I just need, and then it helps me do this. And it makes no sense, but it works. It's a perfect.
It sounds like it almost uses like social media tactics to.
It does, and that's the thing. Like I'll literally be
make
like,
you
shit.
Addicted to keep getting that little dopamine fix.
Yeah. It's like it's like loot box style things, but it's all free. It's all purchased already in the game. You're just like, I just got to put in this much grinding, and I get this this awesome thing, and now I can go do that, and I forgot to do that, and then it's very like that keeps wheeling into the next thing. Oh, they're howling here. They do. It
looks like
every day.
Everyone is rocking at least 60% cotton and 40% polyester. What?
Wait, what?
I don't know what you're talking about, but what kind of shirt is that?
Who, me?
No, in the chat. That's hilarious.
It's like his gimmick. He comes in and
I think
What's
that's
the blend on your shirt?
the blend on your shirt. I don't think this has the tag in it anymore. Yeah, I think it's just cotton.
Mine is.
I don't know.
Dude, he got us.
It's a cotton
He
polyester
fucking got
blend,
us.
actually. Cotton polyester blend. Buddy in the middle is for sure 50% cotton. Yep, nice.
In Boy Scouts, we always had a saying.
Why is that so
it was
funny?
Cotton kills. Cotton's really bad for.
Oh, it's bad for the skin.
Allergies.
No, it's bad for like cold weather.
Oh, because it
Colin's Eagle
breathes.
Scout,
It
right?
breathes.
Yeah, I think that's the reason. Yeah.
Weren't you an Eagle Scout?
It wicks
Yeah.
away. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Can't even tie a knot.
Wool is what you want. You want that wool.
Oh, can't I?
Yeah. That's so funny.
How'd you do that?
Like that, I'm like, what?
All the way over here. Fuck! Gotcha.
Dude, we got played though.
Yeah, that was really funny.
Oh my god.
And also, when you sweat, it can stick to your skin and cause irritation.
Yeah,
that's
that
the
makes
thing I was
sense.
thinking
Yeah,
of
that's what it would be.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
cotton
wool
kills,
wool
otherwise-
wicks away the sweat, whereas cotton just kind of absorbs it, and then you get chafing and stuff.
This
Dude.
guy gets it. Says Pinky.
Perfect.
It's really funny. You did get us.
He totally did. We got played. Anyway, you guys want to talk about news? We got a ton of it this week because we took last week off.
Good news, everybody. Oh, I didn't miss last week. Thank God.
Yeah, no, we just took last week off.
I think I read that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's all good.
Oof.
Hey, thanks for the follow. Really appreciate that.
Nice.
Last of Us 2, the entire story leaked, and everyone's pissed about it.
I'm sure it's great. Oh.
Yeah.
The entire story leaked and people are upset? Damn.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Not very good,
Yeah.
apparently.
First
Well,
of all, I
so-
have something to say. How often does that kind of thing happen? Why does that thing happen where the entirety of the story is leaked?
So
Does that
usually,
ever happen?
yeah, it's happened before, but in this case, it was like a disgruntled employee, right?
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That makes me like. But is that why he was disgruntled though? Because it was unappealing to him. Like working on the
Maybe,
project?
I don't know. There's so many mixed things, and I want to say
Yeah.
this: I'm not really into Last of Us, but I do
Same.
want to say this: there's things that have been leaked that you hear what the story is and it sounds fucking awful, but then you actually experience it for yourself and it's good.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't
Why?
necessarily take the leaks as like stone cold proof that the game sucks, but yeah, I would still maybe wait for like reviews to come out and for people to see some of the game,
Wait till
try to
Parts of it will
experience.
still be really good.
Yeah.
Maybe just
Wait till
the ending's not
Chamali
good.
plays it. Yeah, exactly.
Adam says that they skimped pay on some of the workers is why they
So it wasn't anything to do
outraged
with
the
the
leak.
game. It was more to do with
It was disgruntled. Yeah.
Right.
pay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a little encouraging, at least. Like, yeah, it's
Yeah.
shitty of them, but like, still maybe a quality game.
It
Right.
could actually have nothing to do with the game. Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Okay.
So there's other things, people have said that like, I don't want to give any spoilers because that's not what we're here for, but apparently they kind of like double backed on some story elements to where like certain heroes are now villains and things like that.
I hate that.
Yeah.
That's
And
a very distasteful thing to do in video games.
right.
Like making Banjo a bad guy in Banjo Tooie.
Exactly. Yeah. So, and I
Yeah.
don't know if that's exactly what's going on because I haven't really read too far into it. Again, I'm not super into the game, but all I'm saying is, as shitty as the game sounds, I would take everything that's come out with a grain of salt and wait till the product's actually out there. And I'm not saying everyone go out and buy the game just because, but I am saying, maybe get a little more information before you just full on don't get it. Either that or just don't get it. Like I'm not going to get it. I'm not interested in the game. So
game sucks.
Yeah,
for me, it's a very important game though, because the first one was Game of the Year. It was supposedly one of the most groundbreaking games of its time as far as story is concerned. And, like the entirety of the game's like praise was based on the story. So like your whole game is
which isn't even really a good story. It's just a well-told story, which is that's important, right? So it's kind of just a generic zombie story.
That's what I thought.
But it's well told, right? Yeah. And so that's what makes it special. I think that's also like you could have the greatest story in the world, but if someone doesn't tell it well, like my family actually is notoriously bad at telling stories.
Oh, yes,
right?
That's true.
Like it runs in my family. It's a curse that we all have. And we're just really.
Wait, there's also.
So, but I could have the most epic story, and I could tell it to you, and you'd be like, "That was an awful fucking story," right? Or you could have a story about the chicken crossing the road, but if you have a good delivery, right, then people are going to enjoy it, and I think that's what they specialize in there. And so it might still, even though the story sucks, it might still be delivered in a way that's really engaging and really, magical.
And I gotta say. So. What was one of the best movies to come out in the last few years as far as nerddom? So Infinity War, and the whole thing was like a very negative, intense, like anti-hero type story where you're feeling this dread at the end of the movie as opposed to, sweet, we did it, guys. You know what I mean? Like, so it's definitely a new story thing to kind of give you like dread. I don't know if you ever played like Valiant Hearts or there's other games where like the hero I'm not spoiling Last of Us, but like just a reference, like the hero dies. We have to follow like a very somberful like story. And it actually can be told so well, even though you're sad to either, see something bad happen to your main heroes or whatever. Like you're saying the story is so good that you're like, damn, that was crazy. And you're just like, I don't even care. Like that felt so good.
Right.
But like, I admit it can also feel really bad if like the whole first game is based on these things that they kind of change completely in the second game. That can feel very bad, So we got to play it. We need someone on our team that has played it, I think, in order to really grasp this one.
Yeah, we'll have Chamali play it.
We'll have Chamali play it. I think he wants to.
That's our go-to. We're like,
actually, I think it's a game that he's said that he didn't. I think he actually didn't like the first one. So.
Oh really? Yeah.
Yeah.
My PS4.
Let's see. I'm trying to find. We have a story in here that I'm actually trying to find the art for. Can't find it. Never mind. We'll get to that in a little bit anyway.
Back to Banjo-Kazooie.
So the next bit that we have, there was a massive Nintendo leak, and what's weird about this leak is it's not something it's not like new games. It's not new hardware. It's really nothing new.
Old Nintendo stuff?
It's like legacy Nintendo hardware and software leaks in a massive way, to the point where like the source code for not only like the games on these classic systems, but also like the systems themselves and how, all the inner workings, even like bizarre unused peripherals that were planned for certain consoles and things like that. You get the inner workings of it in these leaks. It mostly focused on Wii, but there was also Nintendo 64, DS, and 3DS information in there as well. The reason why this is cool is because it's just out there now for anyone to find, if you know where to find it. This could lead to actually, like Comics and Coffee just said in the chat, maybe we'll finally get a good Nintendo 64 emulator.
A real one.
Part of the problem with Nintendo 64 emulation is they've had trouble with a lot of the source code and stuff. So if they were able to take this information and then translate that into like a really good, well-performing emulator.
Yeah. Wow, this is going to lead to like everything becoming co-op. Holy crap.
Yeah. I think this is really good for
this is huge for modders.
Yeah. Really interesting.
It is pretty crazy.
Wow.
So yeah, so cool. Hopefully something cool. Now again, always, recommend purchasing the games. We don't advocate, downloading ROMs and as long as you own the game, it's for backup purposes. The whole
So,
disclaimer.
Like Adam says, well, use the legally to purchase all my legally. Yeah, he said it better. I screwed up your sentence twice.
Yeah, that's what we do
I
here.
totally own this disc as I'm playing an illegal Twilight Princess hack. I mean, what?
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
So, I just thought that was cool. So I wanted to include that this week. Summer Game Fest, guys. This is the
Summer's the thing?
Summer. Yeah, apparently it's summer.
that?
I haven't gone outside since the world ended, so I don't really know. But
Outside
the summer
Animal Crossing?
Yeah, what? No, the Summer Game Fest is Jeff Keighley's new game festival that he announced at the Game Awards this last winter.
It's gonna get canceled. I'm just kidding.
No, well, so it's all online, right? So it's all, and what I'm thinking is this is not only like, I think they were gunning for E3 with this anyway, but what better time to launch than now, when E3's already in the shitter, you know.
Perfect. Someone needs to fill those shoes. Yeah.
I think it's a great. So it actually already technically started with the what is it called? The Xbox Inside Xbox, which was on Friday, I believe,
Inside
was
Outbox.
the first thing. But it started in May and it's going until August. So there will be new stuff like each month or weekly or whatever. I actually have the schedule here. Let me post the link in chat real quick. If you want to check out the schedule, because actually Tuesday there's going to be a surprise game announcement, which is cool. Very good. But yeah, I think this is cool. I think it's the way forward,
Yeah.
Because E3 is unfortunately becoming like a thing of the past, but
It literally died in front of us, like while we were like discussing its lifespan. Like,
But like
over
this
the
probably killed it a little
podcast.
faster,
Yeah, this
Oh, yeah.
actually killed it while we were like witnessing it. Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
I'll be really interested to see if they try and do something next year and what it will be. But
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense to have these big conventions like that anymore.
Now it
you know?
doesn't. It saves so much revenue to just kind of
Yeah.
have, and you could just like go to exhibitors like on the website. You don't even
Right.
have to like
with like
physically
Nintendo
be there.
Direct.
Yeah, exactly. Nintendo really, I feel like, set the mold for a lot of this. A lot of people were kind of scared to do individual like things, but while E3 was going strong, Nintendo was like, maybe we just slip some info in there to kind of stand separate from everyone else. And now everyone's like, it's kind of a genius idea. Like, just do our own thing.
Exactly. Sorry, I'm still trying to find that concept art that we're gonna talk about here pretty soon.
Blank.
Oh my goodness.
Concept art.
Yeah. Let's move on. Sony VR.
Ah,
Sony VR is the like lead selling VR system. Definitely not the best way to experience VR, but it sold more units than any other VR headset.
it's
So
just
it
like
makes
outcome,
sense for Sony to follow up with the next generation consoles, right?
Yeah.
Well, a video for Sony VR 2 shows some testing of systems that utilize machine learning for finger tracking movement, joints, like even like the joints in your fingers individually, and predictive movement, which is
Nintendo
kind of
started
neat.
that with the Power Glove
Yeah.
35 years ago.
Yeah. So we're going to get the Sony Power Glove next, I think.
That's sick. That actually is a really genius idea.
They probably won't.
Oh, no. Damn it.
But I still think that the Sony V, I think it's going to launch probably a year or two down the road. I don't think it's going to launch with the PS5, But it's cool to know that they're really looking into the important things that you need for an immersive VR experience.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I
Makes
don't know.
more sense
I thought
to
that was
separate
cool.
them. Makes more sense to drop the PS5 solo and then do like 6 months to a year later do like an expanded.
I mean, they
version
did that with
VR.
the PS4, the Sony VR or the PlayStation VR, whatever the hell it's called. didn't come out with the launch of the PS4. It was a few years into the cycle, so it would make sense. And also the current VR will be compatible with the PS5. So if you already own one of those VR headsets, you can use it on your PS5. But yeah, there's definitely something bigger coming, and it's cool to. We've talked about many times on the show, kind of like what the future of VR is and if it's going to survive and whatnot. And I think that if companies like Sony that have the most widely distributed VR headset out there continue to push that product out and continue to develop that technology, then there may actually be a future for VR and gaming.
I hope so. Yeah.
We really need
I mean, I'm really excited about VR. So
yeah,
Nintendo VR, real one.
That'd be really cool, actually.
Can you imagine being Mario?
Well, did you know that there is a VR game actually you can play against Ganon, right?
I saw that. Well, I saw you play that, actually. Yeah.
Oh, I never played that.
Yeah, you did.
That's
You sent me a
weird, 'cause
video.
I
You were
didn't
looking at
play it.
Maybe you sent me a video from I swear, like 2 years ago, you were like, check this out, dude. And it was
Well, they came out with the Labo VR like what, a year and a half ago, something like that. But that's
know
a piece of
why
cardboard that you have to hold onto your head.
No, it's like 3 pieces of cardboard.
Okay.
Don't be ridiculous,
My bad.
Paul.
For me, that idea was like so Nintendo. Like it's such a Nintendo idea that if they had dropped that in like between 2000 and 2010, that would have been the biggest thing ever. And it doesn't require more like you don't think so? VR wasn't a thing.
Virtual Boy, dude.
Oh, dude, me and my buddy had that in college, and we almost burned our eyes.
I liked it. I only played it
like
a
20
handful of
minutes at a time.
times. I had a friend that had it, and I only played it a handful of times. I didn't play it like an extensive, sit down and play it for a couple hours or anything. But I played it, and I enjoyed what I played. But I didn't play it long enough to really have that kind of eye fatigue that it
It had a
caused.
really cool kind of depth of feel to it that a lot of things weren't experiencing at that time. Like for anyone who doesn't know what I'm talking about, I would play like Wario Land, right? And instead of being a flat one-dimensional like pathway, like in Mario,
Wario Land was freaking sick on that.
so
Dude.
good.
It
You
was
could jump
really
into the
cool.
background, you could jump into the foreground and like move. So it was like a very three-dimensional but platformer. So it was like kind of ahead of its time as far as depth of feel for like when did that come out? 92. Like
No, it came out in
95?
2000 maybe.
no way. Fact check.
Yeah, look, someone fact check us on this. It was after the Nintendo 64.
Virtual Boy launch date. I got a computer right here. July 21st, 1995.
Okay, it was right around the exact same launch window as 64.
It was literally they were brushing up specs on the 64 at this point. And then they drop it. Yeah,
Fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
So, split
Actually,
the difference.
N64 was released
I was
in Japan
technically
in 95.
closer.
Actually, it was the Japan release.
Yeah, the 64 released in 95, homie.
Well, June 23rd, 1996 in the US, actually.
Okay.
Ooh, Paul just hit
Dude, I make up facts on this show.
Actually,
all the
96
time.
in Japan, too.
Damn
wow.
it.
It's the same
Okay.
day.
Well, we knew the 64 was coming in 95.
We knew. Sorry, I just had to know. I wasn't.
I
trying to
just
prove you
remember
wrong.
getting like EGM magazines that had the,
Oh, we definitely knew because
Yeah.
like Donkey Kong Country 3, which came out like right at the beginning or right at the end of 95, had an N64 in the game, and like there were a few other like actual references to N64, like on the Super Nintendo and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Anyway, what were we
Sweet.
talking about? Virtual Boy. Yeah.
We were talking about Sony VR, but yeah, Virtual Boy.
I recommend getting a Virtual Boy Raw or emulator if you're going to play Virtual Boy, guys, because then you won't burn your retinas out.
Yeah,
It's
the
just a
problem
copy of
is you don't get the feeling of the
Burning your retinas out.
VR. Like that was what was cool about it.
That is true.
Burning your
Yeah.
retinas out.
The burning of your retinas.
You really can't
yeah.
play it for more than like 20 minutes at a time before you're just like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I remember playing at a friend's house and being like, "What the hell is this?"
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so weird. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the only time I ever played it was at a friend's house, and I did enjoy what I played.
Yeah.
But,
But like, oh, that was a mistake. Let's make a Game Boy instead.
Right. The Game Boy Advance was a few years after that.
Actually, looking that up right now. Oh my God, the Game Boy launched in '89.
Yeah, the original Game Boy. Yeah,
What? I didn't know that. Wow. Dude, Nintendo's amazing.
Nintendo is amazing.
They really are.
Yeah, I love them. Let's hope they never die.
Yeah, and
They're the
Advance was
best.
2001.
Free
Game Boy went for
update
12
for Jedi Fallen Order dropped this last week on Star
that's
Wars Day,
cool.
actually.
What did everyone think of that game?
I really like it. I haven't finished it. I started a playthrough on stream and then got really distracted and haven't gone back to it. I would love to finish it. I
Sign of
might
a
do
good
that on
game.
stream. But it's a really fun game. It could use some polish in the
what I
combat
heard.
department. It's not
That's exactly what I heard.
Yeah, it feels a little bit clunky, but other than that, it's actually really great.
Yeah.
But they added New Game Plus. They added like a new arena mode into it, and then a whole bunch of other minor updates. And that was free. So
That's cool.
if you own the game and you enjoy the game, I would say go ahead and check that out.
Yeah, that sounds good. I love when games like add more to just the core without giving you like DLC bullshit options. It's like, oh, New Game Plus. That's great because not enough games are replayable like these days. So like, give me some reason to fucking go back to a game. My biggest pet peeve is when a game is like really good, but there's nothing else I can do with it. Yeah. It's like, okay, that was amazing. I'm literally never gonna play this again. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's just I hate one and dones. Even if it's good, I just prefer some replayability.
Yeah, exactly. To be clear, I said Star Wars Day. I was referring to May the 4th. I guess that's not the actual Star Wars Day, according to chat.
Star Wars Day is May 25th, the day
May
it came
25th.
out.
But yeah, May the 4th, you know, the whole joke, May the 4th be with you kind of thing. That's when it dropped. Yeah. This is Star Wars month. How about that?
Yeah.
Fuck everyone.
This whole month, me and my boss are like, he was like, what's the date? And I was like, May the 10th be with you. He was like, May the 9th be with you yesterday. And we're just like fucking around. Well, my friend is always like Revenge of the 5th. Ooh.
I thought it was Revenge of the 6th.
Revenge of the 6th?
Isn't it?
5th or 6th sound more like Sith.
6th.
I'm kind of in the air on it now.
6th.
Then 5th. It's literally Sith, but you might be right.
Yeah.
You said I knew what you meant. Oh, okay,
all right.
Good.
Right on.
Where are we?
Mario 64 port.
I love it.
So there's a Mario 64 port for the PC that came out. It's obviously unofficial. In fact, I think it's already been, stricken by Nintendo. But if you're crafty, and I don't advise doing it, but you might be able to find it on the internet. Anyway,
what's the difference between a port and a mod and like just
so a
ROM?
port is a ROM is something that's like a copy of the original game file that you play on a simulated version of the system, so like an emulator, right? Okay. Whereas a port is something that's completely reprogrammed for the piece of tech that you're playing it on. So this is a PC port, so it runs natively in DirectX 12.
Woo.
And it can also run in up to 4K, which is cool. I actually may have stumbled upon it myself.
You didn't
allegedly.
Oh.
It doesn't work on my computer. It runs at like 1 million frames per second, and it's so freaking fast, like it's unplayable. So I don't know if there's going to be a fix for that, or if because Nintendo's already shut it down, if there's a way, if anyone's going to pick that up. But some people it works just fine though. On some computers it works just fine. I'm not really sure.
Play so fast in yours.
Yeah, I have no idea. It's because there's not a way to limit the frame rate, I believe.
So it's just like
yeah, it's crazy.
Can't hold it back.
That being said, other games such as like GoldenEye and Perfect Dark have also recently been decompiled in the same way that they did with Mario 64. And so there's a possibility that you might be seeing other games like that ported onto the PC unofficially, which would be cool.
GoldenEye seems like a no-brainer.
How cool would it be?
They brought it out already. You can already play GoldenEye.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, but it's not like it's a little different,
Okay. Yes, that's fair.
Yeah, it's not like the original game.
Apparently, that game got remade for the Wii, and I didn't even notice.
I don't think anybody really
I don't
cared.
think any. Here's the thing: GoldenEye was fucking awesome for its time, but it does not hold up compared to modern first-person shooters. Yeah. It's honestly fucking terrible. It
was really the first multiplayer first-person shooter, like couch co-op, right? We're like couch co-op. We're like, I think that was the
Probably
big
first couch co-op one. I think there was some PC. Like I'm pretty sure that there was
PC,
mods for Doom that allowed for multiplayer before that.
Makes sense. That makes sense that Doom would be on that. Yeah.
Things like that. But yeah,
Doom.
It was definitely one of the early PvP first-person shooters, especially on a console. Definitely like opened a lot of doors for a lot of games. But yeah, couch versus, not couch co-op. That's a good point.
Couch versus, yes, you're killing each other, so there's a difference.
Mm-hmm. Perfect Dark, I think, was a much better game than GoldenEye.
Perfect Dark is a better one-player game.
I think it's a better multiplayer game too.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's a way better multiplayer game. Especially because it ran on, like, it required the RAM expansion for the 64. So it had better graphics, it ran smoother, the weapons were cooler, you had cooler maps. You even had, like, all the best maps from GoldenEye were in Perfect Dark anyway. So, like,
they were both Rareware, I just checked.
Yeah, they were.
Interesting. I didn't realize that GoldenEye was a rare game.
Why you didn't?
No, yeah. Or maybe I just forgot. Why? Every time I mention it, it makes me sad inside.
But yeah, I don't know. I might be a minority saying that Perfect Dark was better, but I think Perfect Dark
I actually think that
was a better game.
I've heard that a lot, actually.
Yeah.
I definitely heard a lot of people saying the story, and just like, at least the story is like infinitely better. Yeah.
It also had more game modes, and like the bots, you could set up bots in multiplayer that were like insane, and so like you could practice PvP by yourself against like god tier, AI in the game, and then go destroy your friends. Just like, yeah, it was. I don't know. I thought it was a much better game, but
Adam says the graphics are better in GoldenEye.
He's wrong.
We all know Ocarina of Time beats both of them.
Sure. Sure. Yeah.
That's awesome, though. Yeah.
Yeah. So we've talked about before Prince of Persia and how we want it to come back.
Yes.
But not be Assassin's Creed.
But not be Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Well, check this out. Ubisoft recently registered the domain princeofpersia6.com.
Whoa.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
Yeah.
They're just calling it 6 straight up. Also, usually have some kind of weird name.
Well, I'm sure I think they've got it as a placeholder right now.
They're not be bland of time.
I'm sure there will be an actual name for it.
It honestly is probably gonna be really good.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah. I think that, I don't know. I prefer Prince of Persia to Assassin's Creed by far. I thought those games were.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which was your
some of
favorite?
them were misses.
Yeah.
I don't remember the
Sands of
names
Time.
anymore. No, the one after Sands of Time was my favorite. The one that was a little darker.
The Two Princes, whatever.
No.
Like the old. Do you remember the old one, the 2D?
Yeah.
I'm gonna think. Was that like on the Super Nintendo?
I think it was on a lot of platforms. It was on PC. I think it was on original on Nintendo.
That one was really good. It was like Pitfall, but it was like after Pitfall was kind of like obsolete. Prince of Persia like kind of became the new Pitfall.
Yeah, it kind of had like a Pitfall feel to it.
Yeah.
Warrior Within, maybe, I think is the one that I really liked.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't think that's a very popular one. But I loved that one. I think that one was my favorite. But yeah, those games were dope. I like the more, again, going back to like linear games versus open world games. I like it for certain game types.
It really depends.
I want a more linear feel because I want the adventure and the story to keep moving forward.
Agreed.
Yeah. Whereas like you have to seek out the story and the adventure in an open world. Whereas something that's more linear, it pushes along with your gameplay.
Yeah.
So
really depends on the game for that, honestly.
Yeah, no, it certainly depends on the game. But like for something like Assassin's Creed, I would rather it be more like Prince of Persia.
Agreed.
Whereas,
like Odyssey sounds so intimidating to me. Like my buddy's like, yeah, it's like the entire map of Egypt, and I'm like, it's really crazy. I don't want that. It's
I
way
feel
too
like
much.
I never played that.
So the new one,
Yeah, like where do I go?
What's the new one called? The Viking one that they just announced? Valhalla.
It actually looks badass.
It looks badass. It's the first Assassin's Creed game that I've been interested in a really long time.
You like a pirate one?
I didn't play
like
it.
that.
I heard
That
it
was the
was
last
great.
one I
I heard it was
purchased.
great, but
Pirate
I
one
didn't
was
play
pretty
it.
cool, actually.
That's most people's favorite.
Yeah, because it's really
Yeah.
not Assassin's Creed at that point. It's
Yeah.
a fucking pirate game.
That's the
Well,
thing.
I think it's almost offensive that Ubisoft hasn't put out a Ninja Assassin's Creed yet, because like everyone's been begging for it since day one, and now they're doing fucking Vikings, which doesn't really fit the idea of Assassin's Creed at all. I'm not saying it doesn't look dope. The game looks dope. I want to play it.
Yeah.
It's the first Assassin's Creed I've wanted to play in a long time, but to me, it doesn't scream Assassins. You know, like
all right, ready,
Vikings
guys?
were pretty in your face.
Assassin's Creed Chronicles China. That's the closest we're getting. Did that already come out?
Yes, a long time ago, and it's a
Oh.
2D platformer. I'm pretty sure.
Looks like shit.
Yeah, it's terrible. Yeah.
Oh, it looks like
Yeah.
ukulele. Ugh.
What was that?
What was that? Sorry, I'm bad.
Colin's favorite game? What?
Apparently, Ukulele 2 is supposed to be really good, and I don't know. It's a platformer, so I'm kind of tempted.
Yeah, the sequel. I don't think it's.
Excuse me?
Is it really 2? I think it was more of
2D.
just a. I know it's 2D,
Oh,
but it's. I don't think it's necessarily considered Ukulele 2.
Oh, no,
I'm
It's
it's
more of
literally
like
never,
a
ever
spin-off. I heard
playing
that's good
Banjo
though.
With you again.
yeah, it's the impossible layer. They're not calling it 2.
Yeah,
Did you hear me?
I did hear that was
Never-
good.
Yeah, that was.
Never
We played
playing
that
it
on
again.
stream. Wow, it's a 9 out of 10 on Steam.
Hey, there you go.
Cool. Killing
Nice.
myself now.
Very nice.
Did not enjoy first Ukulele. Yeah,
That's funny. Yeah,
I
none
would
of you
try the
guys
second
did.
one.
I haven't tried it, but I did hear the second one's good. And I think it
I heard
plays
it
a
was
lot
good.
more like Donkey Kong Country style.
That's what I heard, and that's
Yeah.
what really is luring me to it. Although
Yeah.
there's nothing beats Donkey Kong as far as platforming amazingness. I hate to say, they're so good.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of really good
Nope,
platformers
nothing.
out there.
I'll agree.
Okay.
Not a single one.
No, there's a lot. I just think Donkey Kong is so tight. It's like really a platformer to like look to for like advice on how to do a good platformer. Especially Tropical Freeze is like how to redo an old one into a new one. That just like they nailed it. It like feels just like the originals. Anyway, I love Donkey Kong.
Trying to find this freaking. Oh, maybe this is
Contra
it.
sucked.
This is the only. I'm gonna skip some of this because we're running low on time. But because this is one that I really want to talk about, and we can maybe circle back and talk about the other things. But I'm gonna post this link in here. I don't know if this is exactly the right art. Yeah, I think it might be Zelda chic game concept. Okay, boom. All right, so an ex-Retro Studios artist posted a bunch of concept art from actually 2 canceled projects.
This is nuts. I am so
What?
excited about
Keep
this.
going.
This is pretty cool stuff. One of them is a Zelda game.
Stop.
I know.
Okay.
Continue.
One of them is a
Retro
Zelda game.
Studios?
Yeah,
Oh,
Retro
wow.
Studios, which they're the company that are working
Metroid.
on Metroid right now. Yeah.
And did Tropical Freeze actually.
Yeah. So
Ah.
they had some concept art that recently leaked or was released by this, ex-employee for a canceled Zelda game that was supposed to be a sequel to the Dark Ocarina of Time timeline where
this is what we talked about.
where Link is dead, and so you don't actually play as Link in the game. I believe you play as like a Sheikah character rather than Link. Again, I don't know if the art that I posted in the chat is necessarily the right art, but go ahead and check it out anyway. But yeah, some really interesting stuff. And then the other game that they posted was a DS game that was supposed to be based around Boo from Mario, like the ghost homie.
I can
Isn't
see
that
Boo
weird?
getting a game. I
Yeah.
mean, no, it makes sense for him to get a game, I think, at some point.
Yeah, and it would have been for the DS, the original DS.
It's better than Goomba's Day Out.
Yeah, and both of these were
No
around
thing.
that time.
No.
Both, yeah,
I was like,
Tingle's Love Land or whatever.
right.
That's a game.
Jesus.
But that was
Uh,
about that, yeah.
Yeah, both of those games were around that time frame. So it'd be like Wii or
Yeah.
DS kind of.
They were kind of
if those
shitting out
games were-
games left and right
Yeah.
then. They'd had like a Peach game
Yeah.
and some really weird like Canvas Curse, like Kirby,
Yeah.
and like some really weird games that like just flew because they're on the DS.
I think that's a really cool idea, though, exploring like the alternate timelines of Zelda. You know?
I wanted to see one that like
I love
interfered
that.
with Ocarina of Time, like
Same.
like meeting up with Link, basically. You know,
Yeah, me and
like
Colin,
during his 7 years as well, like when he was like asleep. You know. So,
Yeah.
for me, the perfect would be you play as Sheik, you play as Zelda, and oops, spoiler alert. And like the first scene is like you and Impa like on the horse, and you see Ganon behind you, and you're like, you go
Oh,
to
that'd
the
be cool,
Sheikah
yeah.
camp, and then it's just like years pass, and she's training, and you like meet up with Link intermittently, like and all that, and like, and then the last scene could just be like you like handing Link the Master Sword, and then it just cuts to black. I don't know, at the last fight. I don't think it would be as interesting to see a post. Because like we know that nothing happens between Dead Link and Wind Waker, so it's kind of like 300 years where nothing happens is like cool, another storyline, and that character died, and we wait another 200 years, and now Wind Waker. It's like, what are you gonna? It's weird.
I don't
to fit
know. I
something
mean,
in
it's
that
hard.
spot.
It's hard for their 300. You're saying nothing at all happened in Hyrule
Not
in 300
nothing,
years.
but to me, it's like it would be like a false hope thing. It's kind of
Yeah.
like we know that Ganon
Sure.
takes over completely.
Yeah. But
Like,
you
that's
could have
kinda-
some cool side stories, you know?
Yeah.
Like another game that I always wanted to see would be, you know, Ravio in
That'd be cool.
Link Between
Link
Worlds.
Between Worlds. That'd be
Yeah,
great.
who's
I'm
like
surprised-
he's Dark World Link, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm
so
surprised he didn't get into Smash actually.
that'd be an awesome Smash character.
Yeah.
But that would also be an awesome spin-off game. Is have
That
a
would
game
be.
that takes place in, you know, the Dark Hyrule or Low Rule rather, where
Yeah.
you play as Ravio as the hero, you know.
That does sound sick. I just
be-
realized though that you could do after like before Wind Waker, you could do like how like it becomes the Great Ocean and shit like that, and how Hyrule comes to ruin. That actually
Sure,
is a cool
yeah.
story now that I think about it. But
See?
it's like that's
Plenty
like
you
Dark
can do in
Souls
300
almost.
years, homie.
It would be like a Dark Souls story almost, where
Uh.
like everything bad is happening. Like
Sure,
the king
yeah.
dies, like Zelda disappears, like Ganon destroys Kakariko Village, like everything bad happens.
Yeah.
And then the entire world is flooded, and maybe you're like the one who does it. So like you save the world by flooding. How does that happen? I always wonder, just a tangent real quick. Was Ganon the one that flooded Hyrule, or did the King of Hyrule flood it?
I
to
thought you
prevent-
flooded it. To
King of
prevent-
Hyrule does? To
He just
prevent-
used a bunch of hairspray and melted
Yeah.
the ozone layer and
Yeah. Exactly.
Did that actually work?
allegedly. I don't know. I'm not a
Hairspray.
climate scientist. I don't.
That's
Um,
true, Adam. We have seen a lot of that in Hyrule Warriors. Very true.
Yeah. Hyrule Warriors is awesome. I love that
is-
game.
It's awesome,
It's
but
It
so
was
good.
fun.
it has a capacity for
Sure.
fun, in
Yeah.
my opinion. Like,
Well, that's
I put
any
like
of the
100
Warriors games. You know, it's
Agreed,
like
yeah.
Dynasty Warriors, Samurai Warriors, any Warriors,
Yeah.
Orochi, fucking
Yeah.
any of those. Like if you want to go kill 3,000 people in about
Yeah.
20 minutes, then that's
the way
your
to do it.
game. Get
Yeah.
that quick fix in, and then
Yeah.
move on to something else. But like if it's not a game that you can play over and over and over. Well,
Yeah.
actually you can. I wouldn't recommend playing like all the Warriors games back to
Yeah.
back is what I wouldn't recommend
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah,
you
those,
know?
I got burned out really quickly
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
those games.
I will
mean,
say
like,
that
they're
yeah.
fun, but
I will say Hyrule Warriors is the most awesome Dynasty Warriors game I played. Probably just because I'm a huge Zelda fan.
Yeah.
But it did kind of get really.
that's not
Oh,
why.
you're saying that's not why? Oh, yeah, totally not. But it did kind of get tedious after a while. I was like, okay, cool. I've seen Link's superpower like 30 times now.
I actually really like the actual Warriors games. So like like
The old ones on the PS2.
yeah,
and stuff.
Dynasty Warriors and Samurai Warriors because they actually take you through real history, you know? So like actual history of China and history
Yeah.
of Japan during those time periods. Obviously it's romanticized and you know,
Yeah.
they take a lot of creative liberties with the characters and stuff.
Like one guy
But-
being the one who saves the world.
Yeah. But it's fun. Like I think that's a really cool way of delivering, you know, history.
I agree. That was kind of like how with the first Assassin's Creed. I don't know if anyone knows this about this, but the first Assassin's Creed was such a cool concept because it was actually based off of this assassin, and the 9 people he killed were 9 marks that actually died throughout history in this era, and the assassin for all of them was unknown. So
Right.
the whole point was that you play as this unknown assassin. And I
Right.
was like, cool. Like you find this is real history.
Yeah.
But like games don't do that anymore.
Yeah. They do and they don't, but
this is Spiral Mountain.
yeah,
Let's
let's rapid fire off these last couple ones that we skipped and we can close out the show. So
obsessed with Banjo-Kazooie.
Did you want to play tonight?
Let's play right now. I'm already playing. I'm the Mumbos. Anyway.
Oh my god.
2, 3, 4.
Let's just do some rapid fire real quick. So multiple EA titles are coming to the Switch in the future, including Burnout Paradise. And then also, what was the one? There's some rumors of some remasters of EA games. Oh, aren't the... What's the space game? Fucking...
Space.
I don't play them.
Space game.
So, no.
Mass Effect.
Mass Effect. Yes, the
Oh,
Mass
nice.
Effect remakes.
We did
yes,
this last
yes,
time.
yes, yes,
It's the
yes,
only
yes.
reason I knew that.
Yes, that's it. That's what I was trying to think of. So people are assuming that the remakes of those or the remasters of those are going to be coming to the Switch as well.
But wasn't that a big garbage fire? Because like the first two were immaculate, and the third one was supposed to be like so disappointing to fans.
Allegedly,
I heard that.
I haven't played them.
I
You know the
Yeah,
really
also
cool
didn't
theory
play it.
though? I don't know if it's. I don't think it's actually true, but like the theory was that you were basically seduced throughout the entire game, because the last decision it gives you, I think in the third game, is that like every choice has like a good, a neutral, and a bad option, and the last one is like seemingly a bad option, but it's framed as good to your character. So it's like you've been seduced by this dark force that basically like controls you. Like the other characters can actually fall into this like evil thing, and like basically the theory is that you've been seduced, but I don't think they end up going that direction, unfortunately. So it's like a 45-minute documentary on this. It's insane.
Very
Interesting. Yeah, it was one of the most controversial games of its like of that 10-year span. I feel like people were up in arms about the ending.
A lot of people shit themselves over it.
They really did.
RoboCop and Friendships rather are coming to Mortal Kombat 11 in the Aftermath expansions. So Friendships are an alternate fatality. So instead of killing the person at the end, you become friends with them. One of them's like you give them a giant teddy bear. So that's coming to Mortal Kombat 11 as well as RoboCop in a new expansion.
Wait,
and
I'm
then
confused. They're taking out fatalities, is what you just said?
no, they're
My
not
brain didn't
taking
even
out
register.
fatalities.
Okay.
There is an expansion coming to Mortal Kombat 11
now I heard
called
what you said.
Aftermath. It's going to include RoboCop as a playable character.
Heard that.
And then as an alternative, so you know Mortal Kombat's always had like different endings to the fights. Fatalities, babalities, whatever. Friendships are ones that used to be in the game back in the day. They're bringing those back.
Gotcha.
So
it's just the opposite of a fatality.
It's the opposite of a fatality. Yes. That's coming in
That's
this
fun.
expansion. And then the final piece of news is Cyberpunk 2077 is going to give you customizable ding-dongs. Okay, that's the show. Goodbye, guys.
Banjo-Kazooie.
Banjo-Kazooie. No, so the Cyberpunk is going to let you customize your genitals.
Wait, what?
I've heard this.
You're going to have customizable genitals in the new Cyberpunk game.
Weren't you just saying you wanted this, Josh, recently?
I did. Yeah, I was like, I need genital. Just
I just
not the
need
right
to be
color.
able to
Doesn't everyone have both?
customize my...
Every time I'm playing Zelda, no. Every time I'm playing Zelda, I'm just like, this taint's not the right color.
If you think about it, it fits the theme because like one of the things about Cyberpunk is like human modification. You know, people get all sorts of augmentations to their bodies, like cybernetic, and so to be able to
Purple penis.
customize yourself all the way down to your ding dong is
Let me get like
very
4
cyberpunk.
blue penises, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Put a vagina on my shoulder.
Boom. So that's
Come on.
it. That's our
You
show,
do what I
guys.
want. That's the last word.
Is anyone streaming that we can? Are you streaming, Josh, tonight?
I'm not.
No?
Another
Okay.
What?
All right.
Doing band show?
How dare you? All right, let me check and see if anyone's streaming. Though, is Faye streaming?
She
She
is.
is.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's raid
give
her
more
real
fame.
quick.
She really needs it.
She really needs it.
We can just like, or raid message me like, do you really need this?
Do you really need this?
Yeah, exactly. Yes, do that actually.
Dead by Daylight. Favorite.
That's hilarious. Mandari.
Good game. Dead on launch.
All right. Thanks everyone for hanging out tonight. This is going to be the new time. We're going to try and start around 8:30.
Nice.
For the time being, I don't know what's going on, Josh, with your schedule. If we can ever bring it back to 8 o'clock, that'd be ideal. But you know, we'd rather start a little late and have Josh with us than not have him on the show. So
nice.
We're gonna try and do that for
I voted
the time
not to
being.
have Josh, but you know.
It was a odd majority rules, you know.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna raid Faye right now. And everyone have an awesome night. Thanks for hanging out. Goodbye. See you next time.
Peace out, everybody.